Billiken fans, welcome back. It is Zach Miller and Peter Hale. It's the Midtown Madness Podcast. Before we get going, thank you all so much for listening. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button as well as the bell icon. You can get notified every time a new episode drops, whether it be a Wednesday or a Sunday or a Monday. Monday. You can get notified. It's season 5 once again. The Midtown Madness Podcast is brought to you by Two Men in a Garden Salsa. I tell you this every week, and it has not changed one iota. Two Men in a Garden Salsa is my absolute favorite local salsa. It is pool season. We all know it. We're all out in the summer weather. And what goes better with summer than Two Men in a Garden fruit salsas, a little cooler, on the taste buds, and perfect when it's hot outside, and maybe that medium or hot is just not hitting the way you'd want it to. You can get them at any local grocery store here in St. Louis or online at twomeninthegarden.com. It's made fresh with simple ingredients and a ton of flavor. Don't forget to follow them on social media at Two Men Salsa on Instagram and Twitter for their latest updates. Pete, what's going on, man? This is the longest we've gone without a call.
Yeah, long time no see. I'm glad you had a nice vacation. You're looking well.
Little color.
Yeah, you got to go out in the country and get your R&R, and I think it's done wonders for you.
The sky was on fire this weekend, by the way.
I saw your photos.
It had everything from 1 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night. It had all, whether it was sunset or sunrise, it was on fire.
Yeah, it looks amazing in your photos, and especially from where I was sitting in my office or my home in Cincinnati, without a whole lot going on at the time. But yeah, welcome back. It's been a while. Luckily, it's the kind of doldrums of summer. There's not a whole lot of news, but I think after a few weeks now, we've got enough to fill a pretty good show, Zach.
Yeah, sorry about that, by the way. I had given you that FOMO. If you haven't been on the Black River, people, you are missing out. It is I would pound for pound would take it. I think it beats Lake of the Ozarks any day of the week. Sorry if that offends. I'm not sorry. But you mentioned it's the doldrums, and news comes almost so slow that we are talking about something the St. Louis Blues have done.
Yeah, Zach, this is pretty interesting, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I think what the Blues have done certainly raised some eyebrows. It definitely upsets some segment of the fan base for sure, and I think it has broader implications for sports and sports broadcasting.
Yeah, I think I said, as far as it goes with the Blues, I think the news is that they are transitioning to a TV radio simulcast with Chris Kerber and Joe Vitale calling the action. And if this is what this is going to be, is essentially, if you're a women's basketball fan here at SLU, this is Colin Surrey doing the radio broadcast, and his voice is on the ESPN Plus broadcast. So he's doing audio-based commentary, but he's also being shown on the TV. So this is what's going to happen, and they won't need a TV-specific play-by-play guy. That means John Kelly is out. But I think the important thing to note here is is this a move that's going to happen more often? And do we think SLU is considering it or would be considering it?
Well, I'm not going to pretend to know how all of the different networks that we use interact with one another. ESPN Plus, FanDuel, for the local broadcasts, Are we on KMOX currently for radio?
We are.
Yeah,
10,000 watt voice.
right. So I'm not going to pretend to know like which one of those is, the most important to SLU right now, and how those would all interact. And if SLU were to do this, which broadcast team would be the one to run with it? Would that be Rammer and Earl? Would it be the TV guys? I don't know. But I think Colin Surrey, Zach, to bring him back up because we reacted, or you reacted to this news on Twitter saying it might make some sense actually. And he had quite a reaction as the guy who would, potentially be doing that kind of simulcast for some of the sports at SLU, and basically saying that TV play-by-play and radio play-by-play are just two very different things, right?
Yeah, and again, I don't necessarily disagree with him, and I don't think he's coming from a place of that's his industry, and I'm not sure he understood what I was kind of saying, because I actually don't like it at all. I think it comes off small time, as you said, as Colin pointed out, that there's a difference between radio and video. And I think not only commentary, but also audio quality.
Right.
I think if you listen to T-Rob and who is it? Ackerman. You're going to get a little bit more crisper audio, in my opinion. That's the way I hear it. Perception is reality, whatever. I don't know. And radio it feels a little more grainier. It reminds you of the opening scene of Mighty Ducks when Gordon Bombay, they have the radio announcer doing play-by-play for Gordon Bombay's miss. Sure. that kind of audio quality that's radio. So it would bother me in that sense. With SLU, I'm not sure I would care. Like, I think it would, again, like I said, it's small time. It sounds different. And would I get past that eventually? Sure. I think you mentioned which team. I think it's Rammer and Earl, no doubt, if they do this. And to kind of circle back to Colin, because I kind of got away from it, is that I meant for SLU, it would make sense for road games immediately. So we have all these games that are being broadcast on ESPN Plus and then simulcast on FanDuel Sports Network, and we're getting that road audio. I think SLU, I don't know that like you said, the inner workings of the rules and the interactions and the copyright and all that. But I think SLU should use Rammer and Earl on those broadcasts.
Yeah, like overlay them onto whatever feed we're getting from St. Bonaventure or whatever. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, and I know there are people who actually do that and try and sync it up and everything. I don't try that because it drives me crazy if it's off even a tenth of a second. But I know there are people who like to do that so they get their Homer broadcast. But I think about the way that Rammer calls a game, and he really fills up every nanosecond of time with something, right? Like there's no dead space whatsoever, because number one, like Colin said, they're different. There's nothing visual to fill in any gaps for you. A TV broadcaster doesn't have to announce every single pass. He can zoom out a little bit and say something that sort of connects a few consecutive plays into one. Like it's a little bit different. Rammer calls every single piece of action in a game. And I don't know if that over a video broadcast, I'm not sure I would like that necessarily.
And I also think that it'd be interesting because with radio, you can be behind the play.
Correct. Yep.
You can be, a few seconds behind the play, whereas on video, you got to be, again, maybe it doesn't matter because the distance video travels, or I don't know what I'm getting into, but like I absolutely think right now, I think it would be, like you said, it would be a completely different experience. I wouldn't like it. Like, I think it looks small time. I don't think they should do it at all at home. I think that's to the point. Like, no, absolutely not. Um, Even though I said, I don't really care, but I just think it looks that small time. But if they did do it, I think they would absolutely want to move Rammer and Earl across
Yeah,
the
and
court.
I wonder if he would have to sort of retrain himself and find a different style a little bit, knowing that he's serving both an audio and video audience. And what's that audience split, right? If it's 80-20 video to audio consuming a game live, uh, does he really need to favor that audio or the video type call, play by play call?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I think what you're going to get uh, with this Blues broadcast specifically is just it's going to be dual branded.
Yeah.
I think you'll get so you'll get the station identification. I wonder if they'll have a producer in there that will kind of cut out. They'll give the video feed, like they'll cut off the video. I don't know. It could be
I
a
mean,
mess.
I'm sure that the producers are on top of this and everything. I do sort of wonder, like, I mean, this is FanDuel Network now, right? I
Yeah.
mean, this to me feels like you call it small time, but it to me feels like a cost cutting measure by a company that and I haven't looked at FanDuel's statements or anything like that, but I know their value. I just saw somebody sold, I think, a 5% share in the company that would value the overall company at like over $35 billion right now or something like that. So they've gone to from nothing to a $35 billion roughly company in just a few years. And they probably look at these regional broadcasts, which are not exactly their profit center, as things that are just delivering people to gambling, right? I mean,
Yes.
like
No.
these
Five hundred
broadcasts
percent.
are now intended to serve a gambling audience rather
Well,
than
that and they're just like, I mean, remember, I mean, it was Bally's, right? Like
right.
before that. So I think it's
Sure.
the naming the regional network has ever since, Fox Sports let it go, has been a gambling ad. That's all it's been. It's not necessarily like catering to a gambling audience, even though it is. I think it's more just it's an ad for gambling.
Yeah, I think it is, and
That it's a tax write off or whatever.
it's a little sad for me, like I put down the term, Zach, in shitification. I don't know how familiar with that term you are. It's only a couple years old, but the idea is it's basically a pattern. So where two-sided online products and services, right? So like social
Yeah.
media companies and things like that, decline in quality over time. It's defined initially vendors create high quality offerings to attract
Yep.
users in. Then they degrade them gradually over time to better serve business customers, and then finally degrade them even further to serve shareholders and maximize profits. So everything you use gets worse and worse and worse. And there's countless examples.
Yeah.
If you've used Google lately, it's horrible compared to what it was 10 years ago. A lot of the streamers have gotten worse. So this feels to me like it's just in that same super highway of the online and streaming and other products that we use just getting worse and worse and worse because they don't really care about their initial audience anymore. It bums
It's
me out because I think about the emotional connection that young fans build with sports, and that's a lot harder to do now if you are giving us a way lower quality broadcast. If you're not using the announcers that people have been used to for years, right? Like whether it was the video broadcast of Cardinals games or I mean TV or the radio broadcast, with Jack Buck and Mike Shannon when I was a little kid, Ken Wilson on the Blues on KPLR broadcasts. I mean, like those were the voice in my ears for years as I was growing up with these, and they were purely serving the fan base, the local fan base consuming these games. And that is something that like my kids will never have a real opportunity to have because now these are just purely digital products
yeah.
meant to primarily serve a gambling audience. And it's just happenstance that whatever fans are left are still there. And to me, that seems like a very short sighted a way to broadcast sports. I don't think it's smart to sacrifice future generations of fans who are emotionally connected to these teams in the short-term service of gambling and of cost cutting and profit maximization. I just think we're going to see the overall value of sports decline over time if this is where we're going. So it all just feels like I hate to like blow one little decision up into a bigger thing, but it just feels like of a piece to me. And I really just don't like that direction.
I got two things. First, the in-shitification is like the inverse of the loss leader.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Second of all,
yeah, I think as a mindset, they like, even if they don't purely diametrically act the same way inversely, I think the mindset is an inverse. Yes, correct.
Also, I just want to bring your attention to what of a YouTube video I watched called or not called, but it was an investigation into Eastern European sports gambling farms. Have you heard of this?
I haven't read heavily on it, but yeah, I am at least familiar with their existence.
Essentially, there are these warehouses where people are paid to play any sort of competitive game or sport.
Yeah.
And then it's live broadcast 24 hours a day on the gambling site, and people can bet on it. Like, these are nobody people. They're nobody people.
Right,
they're just like you or me could make $40 a day in Vladivostok playing I don't know, foosball against each other, and people would bet on that. Apparently,
that's
it's
you got to be pretty rock bottom if that's what you're gambling on. I got to say, it's
where all of these like bizarre games come out of, like the ice soccer. Like that's from a sport that's likely from a sports gambling farm.
Like they're just layering contrivances on top of games to make them more interesting.
Correct.
Or I guess interesting to people who are, or to add a layer of unpredictability. Those you might not even be able to bet on that game. They might have just put that together to get the clip for the advertisement. That's literally that's just an ad disguised as a viral video. Ugh. I don't know. I feel like there have been dystopian films about this.
It is summer.
You know, people in remote locales are pitted against one another for the entertainment of. I mean, it's almost Squid Game. Mm-hmm. A little less sinister, but kind of the same idea.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing like 8 indoor soccer games a day and stuff. It's insane.
Weird.
Yeah, we got off on a tangent there for a hot minute. Yeah, so I think that to get back to sports gambling in the United States, or not sports gambling, but the change to the broadcasting, if FanDuel Sports is the decision maker behind this, because I assumed it was the Blues, because it doesn't make sense, because they can, I mean, this, like, I think one of the quotes was, it's just a drop in the bucket to keep Kelly and whoever on. I think if it's FanDuel making the decision, then I think as a Billiken fan, you almost have to expect this to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume this was a decision made in tandem, right? I mean, I guess I've really only been talking about it from the FanDuel standpoint so far, and not the Blues. But I did see where one of the Blues execs was defensive about this in the press because there was such a backlash online. Because, of course, fans have gotten attached to Kelly over the last 2 decades, which is a thing that happens because we're humans. But
parasocial and whatnot.
So the Blues, front office was pretty defensive about this move. But again, it's it's not a move toward quality. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It just feels like very transparent cost cutting at the very least, whether it's driven by FanDuel or the Blues or probably both. It just, I don't know. You're just making what we like a little bit worse to save a few bucks. And no fan wants that.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, I'm very much, I think it's silly and I don't get it. And what are we doing? But I mean, change is inevitable. I mean, we just happen to be in a timeline where there's gravitational level shifts in seismic shifts in broadcasting. I mean, streaming and all of that. So I think, people were probably saying similar things when TV started taking over sports broadcasts. I don't know what they would be saying because that was quite a number of years before I was around. But speaking of televised sports, the NBA Summer League, I can't believe that people get way into the Summer League.
I also feel like it's gotten bigger every year. And
soon we're just going to have a full year of NBA.
It's pretty short, the Summer League is. And I don't know. I guess it's interesting for the few weeks that it's going on, but I don't know. I don't watch a whole lot of it.
It reminds me of just indoor soccer. I don't know, compared to soccer. It just feels like it's just something else.
But it's kind of interesting to me in that it's the guys that they've just drafted or signed out of free agency against guys who will never actually sniff the league. But they're close, right? Like there's so many good basketball players who are just not realistically going to make it, unfortunately. But I don't know. It's interesting to me, and I'm always rooting for one of those guys to sort of be a breakout star.
It feels like the next step up from being invited to a workout. How we mentioned that there was in a given workout, there was probably 5 guys they really wanted to see. And then they just had to fill out the rest of the run with guys.
Yeah. Cause like Isaiah Swope, multiple workouts, but no NBA Summer League roster.
Right. So he was just filling out, but Terrence Hargrove was a guy they really wanted to see. And now, in the Summer League, Terrence Hargrove's just a guy invited to the workout.
Yeah, it sure looks like that, Zach, because he's playing for the Denver Nuggets in the Summer League after working out with them in late June. But in their first 2.5 games, and I say 2.5 because as we speak, it's Tuesday, July 15th, and they're at halftime against Toronto. He hasn't gotten in the game yet. He didn't get in against either Milwaukee or Minnesota on July 10th or 12th. They have another game on Thursday against the Clippers. Obviously, we want to see him get in, see what he can do, but so far he hasn't done anything. But Zach, a guy who has gotten in is Yuri Collins with the Phoenix Suns Summer League team. I think this is the first time he's appeared with them after
he
previously.
Looks awful in the orange and purple. I gotta say, I'm sorry. He looks great in an NBA uniform. Purple and orange is not his color.
He's coming from a lot more favorable blue and gold color scheme.
Yes.
And I think the purple and orange, when they're on a white jersey, just kind of, it doesn't really work for me either. I agree with that. But he was previously with the Golden State Warriors organization, as I just hinted at, including their G League team this past season. He has started all 3 games he's played so far. And I don't know, Zach, he's been a contributor.
Yeah, I love to see it. By the way, if I could get a TJ Hargrove, some minutes on my birthday, that'd be nice. But it is, it's great to see Yuri Collins do well and put up numbers in the G League or the Summer League. And I think the league is obviously not going to bring in an undersized guy if they don't think he's good enough. But I wish we had a little more size differential between guards and forwards these days. I think what nerfs it just visually it's just boring.
So there are smaller guys who have been in the league before, obviously back when I was a kid, and Muggsy Bogues and Spud Webb and guys like that were like almost novelty players, basically, get them in a photo op with Manute
How
Bol or
fucking
George
dare you
Nielsen.
call Muggsy Bogues a novelty?
They were really good players.
That's my guy.
But the
Before
smaller,
AI, that's my guy.
the smaller guys you get after that, you get guys like Nate Robinson who could, jump out of the gym and were just insane athletes. And so you really have to find a way in a smaller frame to differentiate yourself. And I think Collins kind of showed us a couple ways he does that. In his first game on Friday, July 11th against Washington, he had a really nice fadeaway jumper. Where he got good separation from the defender. You're kind of like, okay, if he can reliably hit that, that's a way for a guy who's barely 6 feet tall to score in the league. The other thing he did was hit Kobe Brea for a backdoor layup.
Kobe
I know,
Brea, boo.
streaking down the baseline, Kentucky Wildcat Kobe Brea.
Yep.
So like there's two things that Yuri Collins can bring to the league right there. In that first game in 25 minutes, he scored 9. 4 of 7 from the field and hit his only free throw attempt. 6 assists, 4 rebounds, a steal, 3 turnovers, 3 fouls. The Suns did win that one, 103-84. So I think he kind of showed flashes in that game of like, guys like to play with him, right? Because he's a pass first point guard. But I think he showed a couple other ways in which he can be valuable in that game. And I think that's probably been his best performance so far.
Not only is he a pass first point guard, but he also makes you look good.
Right. Yeah. Guys like that.
Yeah, you can when your quarterback drops dimes, you can be off more than usual.
Right.
Jordan Goodwin. The Lakers picked up his contract for the 25-26 season. Lightly guaranteed ?
Yeah, that's how I saw it phrased a few places, including by the Torch on Billikens.com. Basically, if he makes the team after training camp, then he has to stay on the roster through January 7th for his contract to become fully guaranteed. If he gets cut before the season, they only owe him $25,000. If he makes the roster, he'll get paid $2.3 million prorated for the length of the season that he plays. If he makes it to January 7th, the full $2.3 million is guaranteed. So that's a big date for him. Anytime before that date, they can release him with minimal penalty. So he's got a lot riding on this season. He's no longer eligible to be a two-way player. He has to make a roster or go to the G League overseas if he's dropped and wants to keep playing. So like I said, big pressure season for Goodwin. Hopefully he's made a good impression on all those stars out there in Los Angeles and that they want to continue to have him as that sort of defensive role player behind him. And, thanks again to the Torch for that summary. Obviously, we're going to be rooting for him, Zach. He's got to stay healthy. That's key number one.
Yeah. Any word? I thought I don't understand the NBA. There seemed to be rumors that like LeBron was going to move on.
Yeah, he made some kind of cryptic remarks, and I don't.
Sucks. He's
a
great basketball player, but he just kind of sucks.
I think this is true of a lot of NBA players now. Obviously, he's number one, but there's just like I feel like there's so much overthinking about their public persona and what they're saying and image and things like that, and
they probably play into it too.
They do.
Oh, I would absolutely mess with people. Like I probably wouldn't cryptically tweet about like where I was going to go, but I'd probably be like, I would do like a Bill Murray type deal. I just show up places.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe Kevin Durant is even worse about it. He's the one who will actually get on Twitter and fight with people constantly and says he'll never quit doing that. And so I don't know. I think there are a lot of guys in the NBA and the contracts that have now gone into $70 million a year plus territory. I'm kind of at the point where it's just like, can you can you just be cool? Like,
Yeah.
don't be a malcontent.
Drama king.
Don't be a drama king. Don't string fans along. Just I don't know. You're in the best possible sport to be in right now in terms of the salary. So enjoy it while you can. And it seems like LeBron's going to try and stretch it as much as he possibly can.
I think I would just be a guy who, like, if I got wedding invites from like I would just show up every now and then, like
Keep them guessing.
once a month, pick a wedding.
I wonder how many they
Yeah.
get.
They used to. There was a thing like celebrities would respond with like a sign something. They
Yeah.
would, yeah, that was kind of, or like memorabilia. Or, I don't know, a wedding. I don't know, a wedding gift or something.
Should have sent some celebrity invites to my wedding. I didn't think of that.
You moron. We got some more scheduled details here. The Billikens will start a home and home with Santa Clara. Do we like this? Do we care? Does it
Yeah,
matter?
I think it's fine. I mean, I think it's good. It's a quality opponent. They're going to be a top 100 team. The way the program is right now, they're a solid, West Coast Conference team. I'm fine with it. The thing that's kind of interesting here, they're also in the Acrisure Series event, so it could depend on pairings there. Like this could get bumped back.
They
a
will
year.
screw us another time, won't they?
You never know, man. I mean, like, so we were originally supposed to be in the same pod as Iowa, Ole Miss, and help me in the
Unbelievable.
third. Somebody else, I'm forgetting who.
I
And
got
it
nothing.
seems like it's not going to be that anymore. It seems like we're going to be in another grouping, and so Santa Clara might be in place. So anyway, we think the game will be on December 7th, according to West Pine Bills on Discord, if they're not in the same pod. But we just don't know for sure yet. I'm fine with the home and home though.
We're gonna play Principia. Oh yeah, I thought that was a high school.
It's both. It's both.
What am I- what?
There's a Principia High School, which is in like Town and Country in West County,
Yep.
and then there's a Principia College, which is over on the Illinois side. I'm forgetting the town. Is it Elsa or something like that? It's near like Grafton, Illinois, so it's kind of like up the river road a little bit. Campus kind of on a bluff over the river. Anyway, it's kind of a funny situation, Zach, because it's a D3 school, right? And they have the unique distinction of being a college team that would get absolutely destroyed by their high school team of the same name, which is full of D1 prospects. I think SLU has offered 4 of them. To give you an idea, last year the Principia Panthers college team went 4-21. They were 1-17 in the SLIAC, SLIAC, their conference, which also has Webster, Blackburn, Westminster, Greenville, and then kind of other teams in the general region. They lost a non-conference game to Danny Brown's University of Health Sciences and Pharmacy last season. They ended the season on a 15-game losing streak. Their roster last year had only one player who was over 6'4", and he was a full 6'6". So
What is
I don't
that?
know,
The Air
Zach.
Force Academy?
Yeah, even for a D3 team, this is pretty weak. I understand why you don't want to take like a 350 net hit, but I don't know. This is the game where you get nervous that somebody's going to get hurt.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Just saying that every year we've got one of these games, and I was hoping this was an exhibition, but no, it's a regular season game.
Is this the first time? This might be the first time since. This might be the first time ever that I can remember knowing that SLU reached out to Mizzou and being aware that Mizzou turned them down for a game.
Yeah, so I can speak to the fact that we held a spot for Mizzou on the schedule every year that I was there. Now, this was right in the immediate aftermath of us playing. Like my freshman year was year 3 of SLU and Mizzou playing that 3-game series, where we played once at Hearn Center, once at the Edward Jones, I think then TWA Dome, and then once at Scott Trade Center, right? Like so we played those 3 games in a row. They were all really close. Mizzou won 2 of them. and we won the one at the Dome. But after that, we held a date for them every year until at least 2005 or 2006 or so, and I'm guessing they continued to do that. But we would hold a date as send it out to them, hold it as long as we could, and then eventually fill it with somebody else. That was an every year thing. Salute tried to get it going again, and they always refused. So whether it was Quinn Snyder or anybody who came after him, they always turned us down after that 3-game series. Because before, the reason we never played them is because Norm Stewart wouldn't do it. He left, Quinn Snyder took over, we got the series, and then they stopped again. So I don't know what every year in the intervening time has been like, but yeah, it is funny to see that for sure. That's what happened.
How do you feel? Do you care anymore?
About that? I mean, I think Stu had a really good point. Like this, we reached out for an exhibition matchup, and Stu said you could have this thing somewhere in the St. Louis area. It doesn't have to be Slew's Arena. It could be downtown or even the Family Arena or something like that, and make it a tornado victim fundraiser, something like that, right? Like the fact that you can now play exhibitions against D1 teams really opens up the possibilities of what you can do for your communities, for your fan bases, right? Because we all know now they don't want to play us in the regular season. Most power conference teams don't want to play us in the regular season. We're not a guaranteed quad one. We're not a guaranteed win. They don't want to play us. That's just how it is. So if you can take the pressure off with an exhibition and, like he said, you make it a fundraiser, that seems to me like something where everybody wins. But what do I know?
Mizzou hates tornado victims. Is that what you're on record as saying?
I will go on record saying that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You remember the movie Head of State?
I do not.
With Chris Rock, and he's running for president.
Not even a vague
oh God,
idea.
it's a great movie. But there's a political ad in the movie, and it says Mays Gilliam didn't attend this year's March Against Cancer. Mays Gilliam, he's for cancer. Sorry. Let's talk recruiting. I'll shut up and let you get down to business here.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to go through these fast, Zach, because there's a lot that have happened. A lot of 2026 offers since you've been gone. Well, number one, we'll just say that Lincoln Williams, who we already offered, arguably the top player in the state of Illinois in the class of 26, is visiting SLU the last week of July. We're his first official visit, I believe. He's from Kankakee High School, Mac Irvin Fire, AAU. Although I think he's playing for Mean Streets this season. I have to double. It might be still Mac Irvin. Not a big deal. Anyway, Jack Godar compared his size and skill set to Amari McCautry. I think that's a solid comp, although I think he's a little bit more polished at this stage than Amari was, like going into senior year of high school. So a really exciting player. I think getting the first visit out of him is a big deal. New offers, we've got a lot of them, Zach. All 2026, like I said. The first one is Gregory Pops Dunson Jr., 6'1" point guard from Alexander High School in Georgia, Atlanta Celtics AAU, which is an Adidas circuit program. High-scoring point guard, really strong build. One of the leading scorers on the whole Three Stripes Adidas circuit this season. Really like what he does as a scorer and as a distributor. Does a little of both. Other offers right now: Auburn, Colorado State, UAB, Tulane, Texas State, and about 10 others. A lot of those are really recent. So he's popping quickly, to use his nickname there. Second one is Harris Reynolds, 6'5" shooting guard from St. Pius X in Atlanta. Knight Riders Elite AAU, which is a Nike EYBL. Super athletic, 3-level scoring guard. Some playmaking ability too. He's another one. Stock is really going up quickly, as people have seen him this AAU season. Other offers right now: Cal, West Virginia, South Florida, Tulane, Ohio, Sam Houston, and then he's got about 8 or so others from lower conferences. Lots of interest mounting. So we got in at a good time on him. Julian Washington, 6'4" guard out of Margaretta High School in Castalia, Ohio. Ohio Buckets AAU, Nike EYBL. Really well-rounded guard. He shoots, he gets to the rim, finishes, gets his teammates involved, defends, rebounds. Kind of a just a solid do-it-all Swiss Army knife player. But which kind of underrates him because he's got offers from VCU, Loyola, Xavier, Butler, a lot of our peer schools, Virginia Tech, Florida Atlantic, Tulane, Indiana State, and about half of the MAC. So really solid prospect there as well. Eli Sancombe, 6'5" guard from Central Catholic in Wheeling, West Virginia, plays AAU for West Virginia Gold, which is a Puma program, reigning West Virginia Player of the Year and state champ. I know it's not a basketball hotbed, but he's a well-rounded, versatile playmaker, scorer, smart, savvy player. Really like his game. Just a nice all-around guard. Other offers right
Nothing
now.
from he doesn't have an offer from West Virginia.
Not yet. Not yet. Loyola, Belmont, Murray State, Toledo, Youngstown State, Liberty, Drexel, Marshall. So there's the other in-state program, Mercyhurst. But yeah, no, the Mountaineers haven't gotten involved yet. I know once they do, they think they can get any in-state kid. So I'd like to see him leave. My favorite name of all the new offers, Zach, Hurley Brutus, a 6'7" small forward. Equally odd, though, is where he goes to high school at the Villages charter in Florida. If you know anything about the Villages, it actually is an age-restricted community. So he goes to high school in a community he is not allowed to live in. But the charter school there is set up for the parents of, or sorry, the kids of adults who work in the Villages, which is like the largest master plan retirement community in the U.S. So I guess his parents or one of them works in the Villages. Odd situation, but it's one of those offers that got me down a rabbit hole.
Couldn't that he could also be living with like a grandparent?
That's also possible, but it's more likely that he has a parent just based on the pure numbers of who's in the Villages. Yeah. It's more likely he's an employee's kid. He plays AAU for Trey Man Elite, which is a Puma program. Long, versatile, athletic two-way wing. Scores, defends, strong finisher, hits the three, really good in transition. I think he's added even more offers since I wrote this, but he's got Dayton, LSU, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Maryland, Florida State, Cal, TCU, South Florida, Gonzaga, about 5 or 6 others. He's really, really blown up. I don't know how we differentiate ourselves in that pool, but I will be keeping track. Carry-On Barry is a 6'5" shooting guard from Avon High School in Indiana, outside Indianapolis. Wildcats Select AAU, which is an Adidas program. He started out at Trinity in Louisville, transferred up to the Indianapolis area. Big, strong, tough scoring guard. He's huge. Very much a college-ready frame. Just tough to stop going to the rim, but he can also shoot it outside. Other offers right now: LaSalle, Butler, North Texas, Indiana State, SIUC, Murray State, a few MAC programs, Coastal Carolina. So he hasn't hit that kind of like Big Ten level yet. And once the kids from Indiana do that, they're hard to keep in the sort of next tier down. I'll say that. Jermel Thomas, 6'3" point guard out of the Bronx, attends Our Savior Lutheran, which plays in Overtime Elite. So very much a nationally traveling program there. Riverside Hawks, AAU, Under Armour program. Hard to guard, really quick burst, blows by defenders, shoots it from three. He racks up assists because if you guard him too close, really good passing skills. Other offers right now, he's got Rhode Island, Fordham, Seton Hall, Providence, Florida State, a couple others. So he's just starting to take off too. Kobe Edwards, 6'1" point guard from Greenfield School in Wilson, North Carolina, and Boo Williams AAU, which is one of the original Nike YBL programs. Quick, skilled, crafty. Another guy really hard to stop off the dribble. Attacking mentality. He's got a ton of offers right now. VCU, Georgetown, Illinois, Texas A&M, LSU, Mississippi State, Georgia, Virginia Tech, West Virginia, Arizona State, Oklahoma State, probably about 10 others from lower conferences. So once again, how do we differentiate ourselves here? I'm not quite sure, but I will say a lot of those offers are pretty old. Like he's one of those guys who got a lot early and then it's kind of slowed down a little bit. So maybe his recruitment with some of those has slowed down and Slew saw a lane, is what I'm guessing. The latest offer, this one's just in the last 24 hours. Colin Ross, 6'10 forward out of Spire Academy in Ohio, which is up in Geneva, northeast of Cleveland.
Created for the employees of Spire.
The utility. So this one is like I think it's sort of a smaller version of like an IMG Academy, where it's very athletically minded. This is where the A10 had, I think, the swimming and diving championships this past season on their campus. So that's where he goes. But he's originally from the Atlanta area, Woodstock, Georgia. He's taking a prep year. He was originally a 2025 player, and it was the right call because he's absolutely blown up. Long, athletic. He's a rim presence at both ends. Already a great defender, could be absolutely elite at that end if he pans out. Inside out scorer. He likes to shoot the three. He would be an ideal Josh Schertz player. I'll put it that way. Other offers: VCU, Dayton, Loyola, George Washington, George Mason, Bonaventure, Duquesne, LaSalle, literally half of the A10, maybe more. Xavier, Seton Hall, Vanderbilt, Cal, Tulane, Murray State, bunch of others. Again, how do we differentiate ourselves? I don't know, but I will say it's only a couple programs in that huge list of offers he has that I would say are absolutely better programs than SLU. So I think there's a lot of kind of peer schools in there, and maybe we can really sell him on the way he would fit in our system. Zach, I have been talking for a long time. I'm going to leave the recruiting section with this. We've got two guys who committed elsewhere. Number one, Amir Jenkins, a 2026 player committed to West Virginia. Been saying them a lot. On July 1st, SLU was one of his earlier offers, but then he really blew up this spring. He reclassified as a 2025 player, and now he'll join our old friend Phil Forte in Morgantown. The other one I think stings a little bit more because he's a 2027 player, number one. Number two, he's right in our backyard, and that's Scotty Atkinson, committed to Mizzou on July 1st. He is one of the top players, best scorers in the class of 2027. So he committed very early. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year in Missouri as a sophomore, just to give you an idea of what a big-time player this guy is. I'm sure Mizzou gave him a very, very, very rich NIL offer to commit there, but he's a fantastic player. He's a blast to watch. It's just painful to see him go the wrong direction in the state of Missouri. And be sure you come off mute, Zach, once you start talking.
Yeah, no, I knew it all along, Pete. Yeah, that was a lot.
It was a lot. I hope I didn't bore anybody there, but your podcast player has a fast forward button.
Aspire, that place is sick. I checked out some pictures while you were talking.
Nice.
Yeah, that place is insane.
Yeah, it's on the opposite side of the state as me, so can't say I've seen it. But yeah, if the A10 had their swimming and diving championships there, it must be nice.
Look, I mean, you can argue all day and night about whether sending your kid and paying for your kid to go to a place like IMG Academy or Aspire. What you don't have to debate is whether or not to spend your money on two men in a garden.
You really don't, Zach. They make top-notch products. It's funny not having done the show in a few weeks, not having talked about Two Men in a Garden in a few weeks. I haven't had to really think about it, but I went to their website today, and I'm glad I did because I noticed they have some new Kitchen Hub products, namely the Bare Knuckle Barbecue Sauce line. Have you seen these yet?
I have not.
So these are all done in cooperation with 5 classic enforcers from the St. Louis Blues, and there's 5 different distinct flavors. They go for $7.50 a bottle, or you can get all 5 for $35, which is, I mean, hey, if you've got a party coming up, to be able to offer 5 different barbecue sauce flavors, let's do it. It's still summer, right? So the 5 flavors. Number 1, Black Eye Bourbon with Jamie Rivers on the label. Number 2, Carolina Twisted with who else? Tony Twist. You've also got Fists of Fire with Cam Jansen. You've got Soupy's Sweet and Savory with Jim Campbell. And then the last one, Sweet and Lowsy. I was going to say low side, but Sweet and Lowsy. And that's Reed Low. So Zach, I
Hockey
recommend
based,
going over to
clearly.
it's all St. Louis Blues hockey, and they have like they have the images of the player, their name, image, and likeness on the label. I gotta say, it's pretty cool. So get over to 2minutegarden.com, go to the Kitchen Hub STL section, or really just hover over order products. Go over to Kitchen Hub products, and you'll see bare knuckle barbecue right there. And I think in the future we're going to be seeing a lot more Kitchen Hub products as they get that facility in Kirkwood up and running later. But for now, they're already expanding with these, and these look pretty fun, Zach.
I think I made a mistake on vacation. We went on a float trip and I did not get any float trip pickles.
I think you got to go rectify your error now.
I mean, I wouldn't eat them, but I'm sure they are a crowd pleaser.
You got to just give in, Zach. At
Who
some point,
who needs to bring Rumplemans when you can, or Fireball when you can bring float trip pickles? Oh, wait, here, I think they need plastic though if they can, because you can't take glass on the river.
You can bring your own plastic containers.
That's true. Good call. Good call.
Your own Tupperware.
That was rude of me. I'm sorry. Let's talk about women's basketball, Pete. I don't
Zach.
know. I don't know.
There's nothing yet that gives me a whole lot of confidence for this season, but
not for this season. I don't. It seems like a bridge, and it's kind of hard to travel onto the bridge from like the mud.
Yeah, okay. I'm
underneath.
I'm coming with you on this metaphor.
And it's just, I don't know. I expected a little bit more of a rebound, I guess.
Yeah. So you and I have kind of been scratching our heads as the roster has come together, kind of wondering where the point's going to come from and how's this season going to go. Well, they had an open practice on Wednesday, July 9th at 6:30. I gave you a rough time, Zach, complaining about that 4:00 start time before. And then I was like, here you go, 6:30. You're going to be there, right?
Look, all I'm going to say is that's the time you do practice. I mean, if there's nothing that we've seen from the women's basketball program to signal a positive year or an improvement this year, I will give them this. They put it at a good time. They did an open practice in the evening. Hats off to Rebecca Tillett and whoever made this decision. I really don't care. It's the correct decision every time.
Yeah, it just happened to be, unfortunately, while you were on vacation, right?
Correct. This is like when they did the gear sale, and I had to send a proxy because, of course, they put it on the week I'm out of town. That I publicize on occasion.
You should not have shared. You shouldn't have shared your personal calendar with Chris May and his assistant.
Yeah, nobody. Oh God. They say don't put you're on vacation. That you're on vacation online. Usually it's for criminal behavior. For me, it's the Billikens decide to do cool things when I'm on vacation.
Right. Yeah, they called it their last gear sale, the Zach Miller Spite Store.
Yes. It's a little bit wordy, but not a bad brand.
No, not at all. But Zach, we did get a couple reports out of the open practice. They were both not exactly glowing. The first one was from White Pelican on Billikens.com. He said that freshman Alyssa Korkemeyer stood out to him because she's 6'6", and he just hasn't seen anyone that big on our roster before. So it was pretty interesting to watch her. But he said she's still a little raw, which is completely as expected. Yeah. He said they had 13 players. They used 2 male players, practice players, to get 3 teams of 5. And really his main comment was they missed a lot of shots.
Yeah, not so great. I think like you said, to be expected with Korkemeyer, 6'6", 18-year-old, young woman. I would expect that. Like that's that's a tough frame to grow into, and it takes a while. So I get that.
Right. And when you're in high school, you're just it's just a different speed and different level of competition
Yeah.
you're going to have to get used to. So bigs take time, and that's fine.
Yeah.
If she were 6'6" and absolutely starter ready, she would not be at SLU,
No.
right? Like somebody, Tennessee would have given her a package or something.
Another note from the Discord, to quote one poster, I showed up late. I knew none of the players. I think the best player was the one from Texas who has not played in a couple of years. Apparently, they laughed a lot. And it's hard to gauge with so many new players and no real frame of reference. Performance was worse than I expected. No one on the team can shoot. So
there's the consistent note.
A sport like women's basketball that is played beyond the 3-point line. I mean, men's basketball has reached critical mass with the 3-point line, but women's basketball has been about the mid-range and the 3-point shot, even into the era of statistics, really diving into the real, like, what do they call them in baseball? Like the
analytics.
Yeah, the analytics, right? And yet women's basketball has persisted as a mid-range game. So shooting is a massive thing.
Yeah, and it was a deficit for this team last season, which drove us crazy, right? And it was just like, okay, that's got to be priority number one in the portal and recruiting out of high school is just shooters, right? We also said they need size, they need athleticism, because they all three of those things bit them last season.
Yeah,
and I think they address size. They do have some more size, not just with Cork and Meyer, but they've still got Trianta Feely, who didn't play last season, who's 6'5", and then they've got more size than they had at other positions coming in. Now, athleticism and shooting, I don't know if they address those. We'll see about the athleticism, but I really don't think they have in terms of shooting, and that's been the one consistent note between the two people who we got notes from at that practice. The player from Texas he was referring to, by the way, is Zaya Nugent. She appeared in 20 games last season at West Virginia after sitting out 2 straight seasons, one of those at West Virginia, one of those at her previous school, Stephen F. Austin, both for medical red shirts. So that's kind of what he was referring to.
Are there 2 players on this team that haven't played in a year?
There was the other player, the one who came from Towson, who didn't play last season, whose name I'm forgetting, but no, she's not the one he was talking about.
No, I knew there was 2 players that didn't play last season or whatever, or had sat out. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
That was Alexia Nelson was the other one. By the way, we never got the reason why she sat out last season. Still have not heard. So,
never mind. That's not a podcast discussion. Camry Clegg, she's headed to Serbia.
Yeah, she'll play for Spartak Subotica. Not many details about her signing, but I did find a little blurb from Alpha Globe, a basketball and volleyball agency out of France. They said Camry Clegg is the new point guard of Spartak Subotica in Serbia. The floor general from Detroit impressed at the Pro Dreams Combine in Georgia, USA, and deserved.
I appreciate that you put that in there.
Yes, well, they did, and I just read it. Deserved the co-MVP award. She attended prestigious schools such as Clemson, St. John's, and St. Louis. Zach, reading that, I initially thought they got that wrong because I was just like, I don't remember her going to St. John's and Clemson, and then of course I went back and looked, and that's where she came from. I had just completely forgotten that that's where she transferred from. But anyway, yes, a name I hadn't thought about in a while, and she'll be playing overseas.
I need to know what Spartak means.
In Serbian?
Yeah, is it like sporting? Is it? I don't know, but it's the soccer team full name is Fudbalski Klub Spartak Zdravseva Kriv. I got nothing. I had it, and then I didn't. Yeah, I had that right. I got it right.
It is Sporting.
Yeah, no, I got the name right. I read it right. That was just reading you the full name because I don't know. But yeah, I need to figure out what Spartak means. If anybody wants to tweet at us tomorrow, that would be sick.
Google Translate is not giving me anything on this.
It might be a company name.
Yeah, I guess.
Might be like Red Bull.
Could be.
Pete, men's soccer. I'm gonna take the class on this one since you so nobly went through the 5 paragraphs. Holy smokes! All right, here we go. I'm sorry to our audience.
Before you get going, Spartak is translating into Spartacus.
Oh, nice.
I don't know.
No. I am Spartacus.
By the way, Terrence Hargrove just got a few minutes in this game. So, 2 free throws made, and that's
nice. Men's soccer.
Anyway, soccer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Yeah. Football. I don't know why I did that. That was really lame. I'm sorry, everybody. Men's soccer 2025 class consists of 4 transfers and 13 freshmen. Kavi Bad.
I'd say
midfielder. Bod, yeah. Midfielder from Eastlake High School in Seattle. Kalish said his 1v1 ability stood out. Braden Benier, midfielder from Swansea, Illinois, Belleville East, STL City SC Academy, U18, co-captain. Kalish highlighted his versatility. He could play multiple roles in the midfield and defense. Quinton Blair, a defender, transfer from Loyola, originally from Shawnee, Kansas. He captained Loyola last season. He'll be starting center back more than likely. JC Cortez, defender, transfer from UCLA, originally from Ridgewood, New Jersey. Made 3 NCAA tournament appearances with the Bruins, also played with the New York Red Bulls too, and the Peruvian national team system. Sam Coughlin, midfielder from Liverpool, England, where he attended Carmel College, played in Everton's academy from U8 to U18. Made first team appearances for Bury FC of the Northern Premier League, which is in the 7th tier of the English football pyramid. Kalish called him tactically smart and skilled player. Kyle Deming, goalkeeper from Rockford, Michigan, played club for Score Muhlenstein. Okay. Where he was a captain every season and led them to the state title. Kalish called him a dedicated, hardworking goalkeeper. Jack DiMaria, midfielder from SLU High and STL City 2. If that name sounds familiar to you, he is the son of Billiken Jeff DiMaria, and his younger sister Maddie is I'm not going to say probably is the best high school player in the country right now. Kalish called him and a SLU recruit, hopefully. Kalish called him a hard-working two-way player who covers a lot of ground and will impact games with the ball at his feet. Theo Franca, a forward from SAI Academy in Nova Lima, Brazil. He also played for Orlando City B. Kalish called him a clinical finisher with a nose for the goal. Kai Yeager, he's a defender from Kirkwood High School in STL City 2. Kalish said he has everything they want in the position: athleticism, elite 1v1 defensive ability, and relentless energy to join attacks. Sam Kalish, I don't know if you've heard of that name before. He's midfielder from Lafayette High School in St. Lescat Gallagher. Son of the head coach. Kalish said he's a great cultural fit. Will finish all of his homework and be bed by 10 every night. Did he really? He didn't put that in it, did he?
No, I put that in there because I knew you would Ron Burgundy that line. So.
Yeah. No. If you put it on the prompter, I will read it. By the time it's 9:00, I'm checked out mentally. Every night. Every night.
Just crossed the threshold. Yeah.
Every night, doesn't matter what it is. Carter. By the way, Yeah, Kalish saying he's a great cultural fit. Just is that like saying, "Hey, my son is bad. He's
he's
gonna
been
ride the bench."
he's been hanging around practice a long time.
Yeah. Carter Canodal, defender from Marquette High School and St. Louis City Academy. Kalish said he's a Cobb commanding center back with aerial ability and composure to start attacks. Jackson McNeil, defender from Parkway West and St. Louis City Academy. Kalish said he has great potential, contagious energy, and leadership ability. Xavi O'Neill, midfield transfer from BC Boston College, originally from Herndon, Virginia, played club for DC United and Loudoun United. Kalish called him a game changer in the attacking third. Abdul Karim Pare, a forward transfer from Marquette, originally from Cote d'Ivoire. He played 3 seasons at Marquette after starting out at LSU Shreveport. Dipsy Salawani, anybody?
Hope so. Well, he was Botswana, right?
Yeah, but still, I mean, you know,
Same thing.
down LSU Shreveport to Division One. Hartbury College. He was at Hartbury College in England before that. Jesus, how old is this fucking guy?
Well, I think college means high school over there, right?
Oh, good call. Good call.
Yeah.
Kalish said he's a creative winger and proven scorer. Luke Pontaroli, midfielder from Chaminade, and St. Louis Scott Gallagher, apparently the Hill as well. He played for 2 former Billikens, Tim Sartori at Chaminade, Brad Davis at Gallagher. Kalish said he's competitive, breaks up plays, and quickly organizes the attack. Nick Schramm, a midfielder from CBC and St. Louis City, too. Kalish said he's a true midfield engine who covers a lot of ground, wins tackles, and distributes. Finally, Marcus Steinhauser, a goalkeeper from Archbishop McCarthy in Davie, Florida. He played club for Inter Miami CF. Kalish called him a modern goalkeeper who is comfortable with the ball at his feet, possesses excellent shot stopping ability. That's enough out of me. How about you head over to the Diamond and finish us off?
Yeah, just a few notes here. Charlie Weber signed a free agent deal with the Houston Astros organization. No details were provided, but that's always exciting to see on the heels of the MLB draft. He's going to get a shot. Incoming transfers, we've got a few new ones since we last met. Ahmad Duff is a 5'7", 155-pound outfielder, small, from Alabama. Went to Lawrence Central in Indianapolis. He'll be a sophomore. He only appeared in 1 game as a freshman down in Tuscaloosa. He was a pinch runner in that game and scored. Dylan Gorman.
Good Lord. Oh, hold on. Poor Ahmad Duff. He doesn't know what he's got. I mean, this is an insane drop.
Well, he's going to play. You know,
yeah.
He just wants the ball, man.
I love it.
I like it.
Give me the damn ball.
Give Ahmad the damn ball. Dylan Gorman, 6'8", 245-pound, really big left-handed pitcher from Metropolitan Community College. Kansas City area player, originally went to Drury, but then ended up at Northeastern Oklahoma as a redshirt freshman. Then did a redshirt sophomore year at Metro back in KC. He was second team all-region this season, looking for that D1 shot. Drew Welk is a 6-foot right-handed pitcher from Bellevue College in Washington. 15 appearances. He had 2 saves and a 1.63 ERA. His 13.66 K per 9 innings rate was the stat that really stood out here, with basically 42 strikeouts over 27 innings pitched. So I think he's got some good stuff, and hopefully, Hendo's able to kind of keep rounding out this rotation here, Zach, because, we lost a lot of depth to the portal.
Yeah, we did. He's working.
He is working.
It is going from 5'7" to 6'8" is certainly, and 90 pounds is something to think about. Pete, that is going to do it for us this week. Thank you all for being patient the last couple weeks, and we will see you soon. Pete, go Bills.
Go Bills.